being played 9 times. Is it weird that I can taste my brain on my tongue?
You can taste your brain with your tongue?
Yeah. I don't know.
How does it taste like?
I'm not sure what brain tastes like, man.
It tastes very pink and mushy.
All right. So, are you trying to say that Spirit and CFU need to try to taste each other's brains?
No, I feel like I need to check my meds. But either ways, right now, Team Spirit, they do ban out the Yuzong as well as the Grok. CFU ban out the Jushin as well as the Claude. I wonder if CFU, they want to bait out that Farsa or take it for themselves. Because it looks like Team Spirit understand that they're not the best when they have the E, so they got to get rid of that.
Yeah. It really looks like he just wants to go on Farsa for Spirit here. For CFU, though, what's going to be the first pick for Team Spirit now? Because usually, is it really just going to be a Cho first pick? Because again, for Spirit and CFU, I love it. I really like that. CFU instantly just respected. And again, this is what we're going to be seeing more of from today. It's 2-2. Everything's on the line now to qualify or to get eliminated. So there's going to be more respect bans than just pure meta.
But now it really comes to the question, what is Prio mid here? Right? Kimi, Kadita, maybe a Valentina. Sora is open, by the way.
Yeah, since the Eve is gone. Gosh, what else have we seen in the mid besides
Zetian, Luyi.
Zetian's popped up more. Luyi.
We might even see a Selena pop up.
Actually, yeah. There's a lot of good options. I don't know if they'll pick it up right now, too.
I feel like Hilda is a solid option here for
Especially
CFU.
Dangerous Grass.
Yeah.
This is one of the highlight maps for Hilda if they go that route. I think they also just have to decide. I don't know if we'll see a... we have seen with the Claude being bound out, Harith picked up more. The Granger as well. There's the Cho like we were talking about.
Yeah. That's actually the Spirit opener when they're on second usually.
And Granger is an amazing pick once the Claude is not there.
Yeah.
Seems to be the go-to. Like as soon as the Claude's banned out, like the teams want to prioritize that Granger.
But with the Farsa already banned out here, I wonder if Team Spirit want to just go for the Harith pickup now, right? It's really not the Hiko pick you would expect. You would expect him on a marksman, but I'd still say it's a solid pick here. But then you also have to think about who is the combo with the Kalea. Do you pick up the Lunox now? Because, again, there's not a lot of mid laners open. We've been talking about it. Yes, we've seen Zetian here and there, but those are mostly like when you see combos.
Faramis as well.
Faramis as well.
That was like a 1. I wonder if that's
2
just
times.
Like a 2 off.
But that was up against the Farsa, right? So now Yisun Shin plus the Lunox are going to save the pick for Hiko for later on. And honestly, I'm not too sure about that. With the Granger already picked up, I believe a lot more is going to be taken out later on. And Hiko's going to struggle without some of the comfort picks.
Sora gets picked up. Now I wonder, because they do pick up the Yisun Shin, what if they just want Hiko on a fighter?
Well, I was going to say maybe one of the options for Hiko could have been the Sora, but then it's just taken by CFU, so they cover that. We might see them, I don't know if they would actually ban out the Valentina. Here's a fun fact, though. At M6, Sao sealed Game 3 against CFU with a surprise Belric pick.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like in this... the opener, I don't think it's a Belric game.
I don't think we'll see Belric this M7.
Because I feel like during that time, I can't remember what was the hero, but there were a lot of attack speed heroes during that time, especially once they banned out the Bruno.
Mainly the Belric was picked because of Joy.
Oh yeah, Joy, yeah. But yeah, I feel like for Team Spirit, they could go for like a SRG route and pick up something like a CC in the gold lane, and then having a playmaker in the EXP. Either a Terizla, a Lapu, an Alice, anything like that with a bigger AoE would work quite well.
I really like that idea. Yeah, that's why you're already seeing the Joy band out here, because they're not really looking for the Ruby. They're actually looking for the damage dealer in the gold lane. Like CC, I think that's a really good option with team already having the Yisun Shin and... Wait,
they banned Esme and then they banned the Uranus.
Yeah, I understand, right? Because they don't have a Lunox, but...
Do they want Lapu?
The thing is, Valentina is still open.
That's what I mentioned earlier.
Yes, exactly. And I thought it was just going to be instantly banned out by CFU now. The thing is, the Sora isn't even flex anymore. They have Sora Granger. So it is confirmed to be XP unless they pull a crazy one and they go jungle. Yeah. But then, I don't know how it is. We've been hearing jungle Sora, even a wild card, but we just haven't seen it yet. So I wonder if CFU are brave enough, Detective, to bring it up in a match as high stakes as this.
Yeah. That's why I was expecting the Valentina last man too. It doesn't happen, so I think
Unless
maybe
they want to pick it up.
Yeah. Well,
like pick up the Kalia.
Pick up the Kalia.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. That could be. I just feel like in this case, Team Spirit, there's Etienne ban. So
good ban.
There's some good bans here on both sides. Again, this is why we're talking about, like, you know, when you go through Swiss, get to that last stage, you got a lot of targets here and respect bans.
Wait.
Leo Mord is picked up.
Yeah.
CC looks much better now.
Yeah, and there's just no flex for the Sora anymore.
Yeah.
The jungle's already there, the gold lane's there. This should be a Valentina pickup for Team Spirit, unless Bomba I mean, you can see
He's
the smile.
smiling, yeah.
It clearly is going to be the
Valentina.
Valentina. But what is it going to be in the gold lane now? Do they already have enough tankiness? Yes, the CC still works here. The Ruby is going to be a great option
Ruby,
to go for. But I have a feeling, you know, knowing he
Freya?
Oh!
Oh, it's
Okay,
easy.
they're just going to go for the boring choice. It is the most, it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
But hey,
Hey, you know what? It's not as boring as a Uranus.
thank God CFU banned it.
I don't mind watching a girl play with yo-yos and then killing people in game.
Technically, yeah.
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 In game.
So now in terms of the mid here,
What's the left?
I guess Kadita is kind of safe. Is there
maybe
any,
ban
any
down?
Dangerous grass.
Is there any wonky picks? I guess Selena.
Selena,
Also
Kimi.
quite difficult, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kimi is probably the safest.
Kimi's the only thing I'm thinking like that. Unless it's going to be something more so like new.
Arya.
I mean, we have seen OP play the Kagura. I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of it. But
Yeah.
if nothing is available, I guess you just resort to your comfort. Ah!
There it is.
Oh, the third one.
Two
Yeah, but-
big ultimates
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Valentina to take.
That
It's
is very interesting.
It's kind of like
Overload? Yeah.
overload the Valentina with as many good ultimates as possible, make it difficult. And there's not really big AoE aside from like the Sora initiation for the Valentina. And again, if you look at the Valentina this game, it is most likely going to be a tank Valentina in XP, not a damage dealing one. So the Feramis actually makes a lot of sense here. And with the pickoff of the Kalea Lunox, the Feramis is going to delay that by quite a bit.
Yeah. Honestly, very interesting draft coming in from both teams, but I do like it because it does seem that they are. This is the kind of draft that shows that you know each other very well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final day of the Swiss stage. This game will determine who goes home and who advances to the knockout stage. Welcome, CFU going up against Team Spirit here in the Land of Dawn.
Here we go. First game in a best of three on dangerous grass, known to give teams who are very fast-paced an advantage. Only 14 minutes in the average game time, the lowest out of all the 4 maps.
Yeah. Right now, looking at the whole situation here, Team Spirit is known to be the team that wins basically all the lanes. I want to see if they can actually do it here. With the draft that they have, they absolutely can. And if they're able to maintain it, hold on, Sunset Lover.
Wow, already early on in the mid lane, a couple flickers of being used. Both junglers there right on time. As you were saying, Lefel.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that once Team Spirit has that lead, One Shot is going to have an amazing time. And see if you kind of gave it over to them by trying to deny it, but then I would say accidentally give them even more advantage.
Yeah, it's never good if you're up against Team Spirit, a team that knows so well how to build upon these small leads. Let's take a look at the emblems here. It's actually Lethal Ignition from Oppi. I believe it was different from Sans yesterday. I don't believe he went Lethal Ignition. Was it in Pure Rage yesterday?
I believe
gotta
it's
recheck.
Pure Rage, yeah.
Yeah, but it definitely wasn't the Lethal Ignition. It really seems like CFU, they needed someone more of a damage dealer, I would say, in the mid lane, but they just couldn't find anyone else because everything was banned or denied. So they went for the Feramis, but they tried to compensate for the damage with the Lethal Ignition.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is once you do have a Feramis, it basically just makes your comp into a team fight comp. So Boxy, I'm just wondering if he gets a kick. Without Detective, can they actually get a kill?
Yeah, it's going to be a struggle for sure because if the Cho goes for the kick, it really won't be able to find too much Sawo.
Yeah. Gonna try to poke down here a little bit longer. Box could be in trouble. He's gonna get stunned a little bit, and there's the first blood. One shot goes in, cleans it up. Gonna be able to poke a little bit longer. Bomba holding on, using the torrent. Does he actually still want to go in this? He's all by himself. It looks like he at least wants to take out Detective. Sunset Lover gave him the go. That's why he continued to fight it now. Sunset Lover in time. Now Wadu trying to pick up Kid Bomba. Flicker from Kim Bomba to stay alive, and Sunset Lover comes up to help get another.
And this is why we don't like Kid Bomba on Esme. On Uranus, give him something that actually has movement, man.
Yeah, and that's why they played CFU right into Team Spirit's cards. You know, it's kind of like, yo, we've been playing Esmeralda, Uranus, but it's also been best of ones that we've been playing, right? Yes, we did try to utilize it in the best of 3, but for the most part, we want to save it for later, and now you get to really see what Bomba's made of when he's on a playmaker like this, but also, that was negative synergy from CFU.
Oh, yeah.
Wadu got level 4, Netherrealm came in from OP, but Wadu went straight away from the Netherrealm, putting him in a very dangerous position, and it ultimately became just super bad. Bomba will start to really steamroll these CFU XP laner Wadu, and that's free.
Yeah, but the thing is, I kind of feel like the anti-synergy is inherent because this draft is kind of anti-synergy in the sense as well. Right? It's a little bit all over the place. It's kind of like you can do everything, but at the same time, you kind of do nothing. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out to V.
It's unless you, again, unless you get a good kickoff, you know, that's about the main thing that it's going to do for the most part. But everything that Wadu can do, Kid Bomba can essentially do as well. And
Even better.
Yeah, even better. Because like we've seen with this Valentine XP, again, there's a choice. They're going to start up with a Tsunami Slam, a huge centered fight here in the jungle. Brilliant's going to be already used. Detective in trouble. Won't be able to escape as one shot. Picks up a kill. Wadu has to flicker out. Sunset Lever will jump in, trying to take out Boxy. But they get the one kill they're looking for.
You know what I'm worried there, Mirko as well as Naisu? The Netherrealm was cancelled by Kid Bomba with the stolen ult of the Sora with a defensive build.
Yeah.
Which kind of means that Netherrealm,
Is useless.
you basically just hold out one attack and then that's it.
The Netherrealm now is a nerf for your entire team because there's a part of it, once you use Netherrealm and it gets broken, you're stuck, you're silenced there. And that gave Team Spirit so many more opportunities to go back and forth, to wait for the resources. And yeah, we were assuming Valentina no damage might not be enough to take down the Netherrealm. Never mind. That's how broken Sora's abilities are. That's base damage, tanky build, Sora ultimate. And yeah, Spirit did a whole lot. And I just have to say, I never want to see the Esmeralda Uranus on Bomba ever again, unless it is 100% necessary.
Yeah.
I mean, he had at least that one good, you know, like good game with Esmeralda.
The games is good, but
Yeah.
it's just not him.
It's
this is
not him. This
amazing.
is more him. Tsunami Slam! And you won't be able to get to the Netherrealm either as Boxy falls. Still going to be looking for more OP on the run, and now left to his own. Wadu falls in the river, turtles up, and that was just 4 members of Team Spirit.
I just want to say I already want to vote for my MVP.
Yeah, no, production, we know who MVP is. It's the man in XP called Kid and Bomba. But,
First
dude,
name Kid, last name Bomba.
Yeah.
first name Kid, middle name Bomba, last name we'll find out. Oh, man. It's just strange to see because usually when you see a double fighter composition, Boxy. Sawo just flickers out. So much respect there. But usually when you see a double fighter versus a marksman, it should be the marksman that stays up top to go for trades. It should be the fighter rotating. But it's Hiko who's constantly staying up top, getting the siege down, taking a turret, and Sing, the one really desperate to get more Skypiercer stacks on the Granger.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Team Spirit is, hold on, I want to go for
I
another
want to
fight.
go again. It's Tsunami Slam to start everything open into a huge torrent play. And they just have the pickings here in the jungle. Detective can escape. The Yo-Yo Blitz and Zing could be next. It's a huge wipeout at 6 minutes in the game for Team Spirit.
First name Kid, middle name Bomba, last name Holy. You know what's next, but yo, just give him the MVP for this game, man. 1-0-9. What a set by Kid Bomba!
Dude, that was... Yeah, thank goodness we needed an instant replay. We can even slow it down here because the initiation started from the Kalia, icing the target. But look at Kid Bomba coming in from the side, pulling everyone in. Now that has to be a TikTok clip. That has to be a reminder to everyone. You guys were lucky that Kid Bomba was on a Uranus, was on an Esmeralda. After this, we might not see that anymore.
Coach Coldstar, please. We don't want to see him on Esme Uranus anymore. We want more of the Bomba.
Every single time you see that, that's when you think, you know, yeah, her ultimate is called I'm you, basically.
I am you.
I am you, but better.
But better. And that's what Wadu is feeling right now.
Lord, that gold lead.
Yeah, this is massive.
That
I
is-
don't know if have we seen a gold lead this big at this point.
Dude, this is a gap. I mean, that's a massive gap.
It has to be the highest one so far.
If Team Spirit loses, it's on them.
11-0. I think Team Spirit will agree. They're gonna be like, yeah, if we lose, it's on us.
Yeah.
There's no way, man. It's very, very difficult now. And again, this is the problem with the Granger after the nerf, right? You're very reliant on your team doing well, just at least going even on the other side of the map. If you fall behind, it's so difficult to get stacks, and it's almost impossible to get a Skypiercer unless Skypiercer stack, unless the enemy team really blunders in this position. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to come back from this, but it needs to be like a 5 Sky Piercer stack in one team fight kind of deal.
At this point, I kind of feel like the problem really is the draft, because let's look back into the bans, right?
Yeah.
Ban out a lot of the mid laners, but then you were the one that banned out 2 mid laners, and then you did not pick up any
Exactly.
in the first 3 picks. So it does seem like CFU, it kind of seems like a half-cooked plan.
Yeah,
we
kind of
know,
backfired.
We know what to ban, but then we don't know what to pick.
Because like you mentioned with the Faramis pick early on, I mean, that's the majority of, you know, the magic damage they're relying on. But even so, it's like, well, once the Nether Realm is expended, you don't really have much, except some poking damage here. The Tsunami Slam again. Nether Realm's already done with. A Torn again from Kid Bomba. There's the kick from Boxy, though. They're trying to take out Kid Bomba. He's actually not able to get away. Finally a kill going over here to CFU Gaming.
The moment we say something nice about Kim Bomba in WhatsApp and then he dies, coincidence?
I think not. Well, we see now the angle for CFU Gaming, right?
What's Bomba gonna build?
Interesting.
Is he going for the Clock of Destiny?
Yeah, it looks like it's a build plan for Clock, but again, now we get to see actually a glimpse of brilliance from CFU Gaming, or at least a glimpse of what their win condition should be. You need to go in before Team Spirit can do it to you, right? So at this point for CFU, it's all in or nothing. Like, go in together with the Netherrealm. The Netherrealm should never be used defensively at this point, because when it is used defensively, you know what happens earlier. Silence gives so much space for the combos to come through. So now, CFU, they just need to brute force their way into team fights, and that's not going to be easy to do, but it's the only way to turn this lead around.
I'm kind of worried for them, though. Like, if they still try to fight, which, look at this, Lord's going to be just taken out so quickly. So they'll have to deal with the defense on this one, and maybe that's where it works best. But still being down 10,000 gold, and you need plenty of time to kind of build up these items that you need, especially on saying it's going to be difficult. And like you mentioned, too, you know, you have that Netherrealm. You can use it aggressively if you want to, but it's almost like Team Spirit knows that they have this big lead and power gap over CFU Gaming. So they're taking some of these chances, and they do get checked. But with this Lord marching in, I mean, look at the difference here in terms of damage.
The highest damage is Kid Bomba.
With a non-magic build. He is on the way to a magic item, but for the most part, it was him just relying on base damage. So yeah, 32,000 on top of one shot. Well, Hiko hasn't really been participating, so makes sense. And yeah, they're just going to use this Lord now.
At this point, OP really needs a Lightning Truncheon. Without that, there's really nothing that CFU Gaming can really do. Because even if Team Spirit makes a mistake, they really don't have much damage to potentially get a wipeout.
Yeah, they're just dealing with the shields right now, but CFU Gaming will look to hold on. Maybe this next wave, Salo might push it. A little bit of poking just happening here from range. Now Wadu could be in trouble here. Under the turret they go with a Tsunami Slam to combo it out. Wadu gone in an instant, and a Divine Glaive just now picked up by Sunset Lover.
I would say that's worth, because you lose Wadu, but you still take care of your base. I think that's good, especially because just before that attempt coming in from Team Spirit, OP did finish up that Lightning Truncheon, means a little bit more damage and easier to clear the wave.
Yeah, but now they're just going to go in again without Wadu this time around. 3 seconds.
Kid Bomba holding on to his own Netherrealm this time, changing things up with Wadu not here. He's going to pop it. They're going to go for the turret. They do get the base turret now. There, Wadu trying to start something up. He's going to be terrified, though, and now jump in. Sunset Lover goes in, using the brilliance. He's trying to get Zing out. He gets to the fountain, but Sunset Lover goes a little bit too far as he falls on the hunt for Zing, but it's a trade. And that base turret in the mid and top still stand.
We got to see 7 to 17-year-old Sunset Lover there, man. He was definitely shooting his shot. Really, he's going for a takedown.
Oh, there's Tsunami Slam once again, and that's going to be the takedown from Team Spirit. They're looking for OP. OP takes a little bit too much damage as he falls. They'll pick up another kill, and now the top turret's going to be worked on. And Boxy will actually get a flicker around from Sawo. So still, amidst it all, 12,000 behind. CFU Gaming holds on to 2 base turrets.
Yeah, but we do see this is the reason why Team Spirit, there's still some questions on them where they look a bit desperate. Even though, yes, 12,000 lead, I think it's okay for you to do that, right? Trying to end the game as fast as possible, trying to kill off CFU Gaming, but CFU Gaming, they didn't play the game yesterday, right? They've been playing for quite a while. They roughly understand how you want to defend the base, and if enough time has been bought, more stacks given over to Zing, more damage from Detective as well as OP in terms of items, and then there will be an opportunity for things to really, you know, switch around, but it's really on Detective as well as Zing. I still think this is all Team Spirit But we do have to say that, yeah, they look a little bit desperate when they do want to end the game.
For real. And this is where it becomes kind of problematic, Lafel and Naisu. The fact that CFU initially went for the Faramis plus the Sora to overload the Valentina, but now it is actually just given a 13,000 gold lead Team Spirit more options to play the team fights. Because let's say CFU does go in first, then it's just the NetherRealm steal from Kid Bomba, as we saw earlier, as they siege down bot lane base turret. So now CFU are going to have to really be careful as to how they position in team fights. I think OP might have to come in very, very late just to not give the NetherRealm in if the idea is we want to initiate first.
Yeah, even looking at this, itemization-wise, obviously being behind here, I'm wondering if they'll be able to withstand this Lord push in with all the shields down. They'll most likely lose all base turrets, but the main thing is staying within this game. Sawo jumps in. He's going to go with the Tsunami Slam already. It's on a Boxy. They get the base turret down. Boxy looking for the kick. It's on one shot, but the team is broken apart. Boxy falls, and now Team Spirit looking to take out Zing. Zing gets back to the fountain, but it's already a double here for Team Spirit as they pick up now 3 kills. They're going for the base. They should be able to just end it here as CFU Gaming can't do anything but watch as Team Spirit takes game 1.
It's GG. You never want to give Team Spirit a composition that can build a lead and just explode with it. That was a massive gold lead. Didn't stand a chance, CFU, despite their, again, ideas of trying to overload the Valentina, their ideas of trying to just brawl it out in the late game. It didn't work out, and you can already see the CFU members, your Boxy, Detective, all having a conversation of what they need to do next.
I feel like this composition doesn't really feel like CFU because Leomorn is a good hero, but it really doesn't feel like Detective kind of hero. Detectives loves the Joy, the Lances, the Hayabusa.
The high mobility picks.
We see the difference in goal between the junglers. It was approaching about 6,000, 5,500, 6,000. That's quite a big gap, especially considering that one shot, as a Yi Sun Shin, he wants space to farm. If his gold lane is winning, if his EXP is winning hard, if his mid is winning by that much, this game might be the easiest game One Shot has ever played because there's legit no one stopping him.
And it's definitely the easiest game Hiko has played because, like,
he's just there.
He was just
chilling,
there,
man.
existing, putting curtain calls down. I feel like the whole game he didn't ever needed to pop in Vengeance. That's how easy it was for Hiko. He's just like, all right.
That's that lead they built up, man. And, you know, when we were talking about some of the weak points of Team Spirit, even when we saw them in their last international tournament, that's kind of what we had to talk about, you know. Sometimes playing for Hiko ends up backfiring against him. Well, this time he got to just go ahead and pick a fighter in the gold lane, kind of have an easy time, but it was also just because of how much of a strong start Team Spirit had because of the way the early game went, because of, I think it all started from that main fight in the bottom lane, man. Like, it was so disconnected from CFU Gaming that one team fight just started the whole snowball for Team Spirit.
I love your point because Team Spirit, I would say, as a team, doesn't matter which organization they're with, they really have this base MOBA understanding that the gold lane is the main carry, right? But I love the evolution that they're like, Hiko, you can carry, especially back in M6 where the meta was kind of gold lane centric, gold as well as mid. But now, One Shot can carry. Sunset can carry. Kid Bomba at this point, if he used the right hero, he definitely can carry. So a lot of weight is off of Hiko's shoulder. And now I really feel like Team Spirit is really embracing the playstyle of Mobile Legends, where it's like, it doesn't have to be the gold lane. It can be on someone else.
I agree. And I think on the other side, it's CFU who are trying the same thing, but they just don't have the right components for it, right? Because I feel like a lot of their play style really relies heavily on individual plays, on them being very independent. Now, when you put Detective, a guy who's known to be independent, known to being like, all right, if the game goes south, I'll just farm alone, looking for, you know, with those mobility picks, very, very smart pathing around the map to keep that level lead from getting too crazy. Put him on Leomorn, and he just can't do those things.
Leomorn's kind of weird, no? Like, I feel like he only works for certain certain players.
It's because I think it works with a proper team that plays with it. It's a very highly like coordination dependent hero.
Yeah, but now we got to look at the MVP by Realme, our official gaming phone here in the M7 World Championship, and it's Kid Bomba. And something that I have been saying is that if you want to know whether you are talented or not, is if you make it look easy.
Yeah.
And Kid Bomba made that look easy. He made it look effortless. From the laning phase, he already demanded attention. Even though we're like, you could have played this in, but no, he went in 1v3, bought enough time for Sunset Lover to come in, get that win, Kip Bomba, it's so hard for the rest of his team to get the MVP because of the impact he had from one lane, forcing everyone to come to his lane. Because, again, look at the highlights here. This is something special when your EXP laner demands that kind of attention. And players like Cram, like Sanford, even Edward, these are the kind of players that make it so that your opponents don't get to move the way that they wanted to move. You're forced to respond to what you want to do. And of course, all the sets that he did on this Valentina EXP really made it easy for Sunset Lover, for Hiko, for One Shot, especially this play. At this point, for us, it's over, right? Kip Bomba kind of destroys CFU at this point.
There are too many back-to-back fights, and again, we see the disadvantage of having a playstyle like this for CFU. They're always known to go for team fights and team fights and team fights. When they lose, they will team fight to get back. And you see what happens when you just never win the team fights, right? There was only one really good team fight, and the only good team fight was with one kill. That was when Team Spirit were like, all right, you know what? We have to back away here. We have to understand that they have a lot of things that they can punish us with as well, so chillers. And then here as well, we get to see, again, the whole idea of CFU being, well, in the draft at least, trying to overload the Valentina with as many good ultimates as possible actually hurt them because they went all in, but Bomba just stole another realm, and they were able to survive getting a tier 3 turret down. And then we see Bomba just really take control of the match. He really dictated the pace of the match ever. After the death, I would say he slowed it down, but then he went back to 6th gear and went crazy.
Yeah, I think if your plan is to pick up the Sora, like, you have to ban out the. You almost have to either pick up or like ban out the Valentina.
Yep, agreed.
Because it's too much of a. It is just better. It's so weird that that's the fact because you're literally IMU but better, and we've seen that now a couple times through here for the M7 Swiss stage.
Yeah, and talking about Leomorn, again, why I feel like it's not Detective kind of hero, even though, yes, Detective has a very mean Fredrin, but Leomorn is kind of like a utility jungler with damage. So he plays more macro, where he is a kill threat. Summon the Barbiel, do a bit of damage onto the mid lane, make it so that they're out of the fight, do a bit of damage onto the gold lane, so the gold laner is not in the fight, and then you kind of let your team do whatever they want from there.
Yeah, and we spoke of this already after the draft, and especially after seeing the emblem choice of OP, right? He went for Lethal Ignition here, and usually it makes sense for a Faramis to be picked up when you're just playing for pure utility, but in this game, you needed a bit more magic damage, and you can definitely see the consequences of going for the Faramis here on Team Spirit's itemization. None of them really built for magic defense at all. I think the only thing that was present was the Oracle for Valentina, and that wasn't really for the magic defense, but rather for